well, that'll be good. We've done it, but shot's right. Put them down somewhere else. There's lots of words. That's the way. Right. There's a pigeon coming. Oh, he's across the other way. Good dog. Come on then. Good dog. Okay. Well, here we are at first light again, out at the refinery, and the sun's just rising, as you can see. There's a comfy hide with a little doorway to get into if we want. If there's a little doorway here we can get out of when we want to, see? Just do it up like that, easy enough. Ready to go again. Here's a good girl. Yes. Lottie's ready for us. Box in the background to put the cartridge cases in, keep it nice and neat and tidy. And there's the stool inside the hide. Cartridge bag ready. In this case a camera tripod just inside the hide. That one down nicely. Right, we'll set up our angel of death there in the wind at the beginning of the pattern and see what it draws in. Go fetch! Good dog, get on there! I hope that they're not coming in as close as I'd like. That one did. And I think we're going to pack up now because the rain is coming and the weather's changed, the low pressure's come over. bad little shoot for the morning, is it? So, what is it, 16 birds, just for a few hours on the rape, which is rather nice. One of the quickest ways to deal with game birds or pigeons when there's not much on the legs and wings anyway is simply to breast them out. So here's the pigeons we've just shot and a really nice plateful. Let's just do the last one. It's simple and much quicker this way than having to cut the whole birds. I'd like to have the whole bird sometimes, you know, for a special dish. The whole bird roasted and presented, one or two on a plate, is very nice. But just when you're thinking of doing a slow casserole or having some meat to one side for making other recipes, then this is the quickest way to do it. Cut, just nick across the breastbone as I did with the knife, peel back the skin across the breasts, go straight in down the rib cage at the front here, at the very breastbone, cut right down through to the flesh at the bottom, larger part here at the top. Get hold of that scallop, get hold of that breast, peel it away, just cut it away from the feathers, and there we are, there's our breast ready to go. It just needs washing. Same the other side, turn the bird round, just cut down the breastbone again, onto the rib cage, down around, right down to the leg there, round the front, just nick down to the skin, peel it away from the skin, pull away that last piece, that scallop, from the feathers, and there's our breast again. All we've got to do now is wash them. Here we are. You can see how quick and easy that is to do, much easier than having to do the whole bird. And then what's left just goes as one package into the rubbish with all the rest of the birds. No guts, no mess, no nothing, all dark, just ready to do the... And you also notice I picked up all my cartridge cases afterwards. They're all in here too, to go with the mess. Don't leave anything about in the countryside like plastic. Tidy everything up. You'd like it to come out nice and easy, won't they, these feathers? Pigeon's feathers come out nice and easy. As soon as these done. What you doing, eh? Is that what you want? You can't have it, get off. You'd like some of that, wouldn't you? Do it again a minute. So much on a pigeon, so I only really want the breasts. Extra feathers. Look out. That's it. Yeah, quick as easy as that. Nice pigeon like that. And Rosie will cook them later with the chicken tonight, and that'll be a great meal. Right, in these two kit bags is everything I need to go with the wildfowling or pigeon shooting. Let me show you the contents and explain. Right, in this white carrier bag I've got all I need just for a day's shooting. If I want to be mobile, it's very easy. I've got 9 shells and 1 full body, and this one, which is a full body, it has wings. And if it's a windy day, I can put this together, take out one of my angels of death, put it into the ground so, and just put this on top. Now this means that if the wind's blowing quite strongly, that will just blow in the wind, rocking up and down with the wings flapping. So that's quite useful. And later I can put a dead bird on there. Now, this angel of death, while I'm at it, it's a 5-foot piece of 1/4-inch steel rod, and all I've done is made a twist there and then put wire off that with a couple of loops at the ends that the wings of the birds can go into. So we push the bird onto there, stretch the wings out onto here, and the same thing would happen when it's out. It will be rocking in the wind, looking like a pigeon coming in. So very easy to make for yourself, very inexpensive. I've got my pigeon flapper, which is on a fishing reel and some fly line, and we'll show you how to set that up during the film. But it goes into the ground, a dead bird goes on there, and when the string is pulled, the wings are flapped. Just enough to give a bit of movement when I want it to bring the birds in. Inside here I also have 2 lengths of camouflage netting, about 5 foot long, so they go around the back and front of me if I require. And also a stool, a small camping stool, so that I can just put that down inside the hide and I'm quite comfortable. Other than that, all we require is our pigeon decoys. Now, of those I have 3 types. The rockers, the shells, the half shells, like this, and they will just rock in the wind like that. Then I have full bodies. You see here we've got a full body feeding and a full body that's upright. What I want to show you a bit more closely here is how that I've flocked one of them. The flocking is this one, and this is the shiny bird natural plastic. You can buy kits now where you coat this in a glue, and with a sieve you put this powdered fur on, almost which gives the pigeon a feathery feel, and it won't be shiny, it'll be matte, unlike that being a bit shinier. If it's a bright day or wet, this will shine, it could put the pigeons off. But flocking them and then repainting them to make them brighter makes them far more attractive and more real. I also have 5 rod rests which I can push into the ground and extend to whatever distance I want, up or down. If I put 1 at the front, 2 at the sides, so I'm able to have that one lower and point over the front, and 2 at the back, then that's an instant hide. Again, we'll show you this in more detail in the film. So there's my easily portable one, or my main sack, over my shoulder. All I require then is a bag of cartridges. Let's move on now to the wildfowling one, this one. Not a lot of difference. Once again we have a stool and camouflage netting just the same, but what I do have in here, which is different and you might want to learn from or take the idea of, is a fishing rod with a weight, and I've got 20 or so duck decoys, floating decoys. And what I tend to do is undo this bail arm on the reel, throw out my lead like that into the middle of the river or the other side, wherever I want it, and then on these duck decoys I put pieces of string with these swivels on. All I have to do is take off open the swivel like so and slide that onto the line, and once it's on the line close it up and then just slide those down and they will go out into the middle of the river where I want them. At the end of the day, what I do is to wind it up and take the decoys off. And many of the days that I've had where I've not only been out there wildfowling on the river, but also been pike fishing at the same time and had duck and pike. We have the portable battery, cigarette lighter, plug holder, a winged pigeon which is flocked, and a dead pigeon for the moment. And we're going to have later some special pigeons that are plastic decoys flocked with the wings that spin round. Much easier to carry. I'm going to put together this pigeon magnet. this one extends out like that. Well, we're now trying out the rotary pigeon. This time I fitted a speed control, which means that I can turn it on or off, and to the only speed I want. So you can see here how the battery works, the switch, we turn it off. And we've got a speed control as well, so when it stops, turn it on. Away they should go. Come on, pigeon. Now the hive ready, and we're in with the bird going round. Good girl, good fetch, good dog. Good girl. Come on then. Good girl. Good dog, yes. Come on then. Come fetch it. Good girl. Good girl. Good dog. There's a good girl. Drop it. There's a good dog then. Carry my gear in a tall ex-army kit bag. Inside is a 5-gallon drum which I can sit on, plastic. It takes the 2 nets, it takes my 4 extending poles and 1 shorter pole that I use at the front of the net, especially when I'm on my own, because on my own I usually set the net into a V shape at the front so I can shoot over the top. In this case though, we've got our lighter coloured camo net, which is an autumn shade, and an older net I've got which is fairly pale in colour because it's bleached out over the years, and I prefer the lighter colour net because it matches in with the greenery most times of the year, especially this time of the year being winter. We'll set up a broader camouflage hide this time because there's 2 of us shooting, and whatever happens we mustn't cross guns, we mustn't shoot over each other. In fact we normally shoot taking it in turns to be fairer to each other and to be safe. So let's just set up a hide fairly quickly because we've seen a few birds. I'm going to make sure there's enough room for 2 of you to get in. I'll set these poles at a slight angle so that I can extend them up and over. That should be broad enough for 2 of us. sacks just to keep the bottom down. So I'm not bothered about that. Any metal of the hides and shining and just collecting up. Somewhere to sit. And you can see there's plenty of room in there for 2 cartons. Well, I'll go in there and demonstrate that in a minute. I don't think we'll even need a net up behind us in this case. Cartridges. Get this gear out of the way, the camera cases and stuff. Black shows up too much. The gun barrel here to get over the decoys and then whack, they're dead. Down gun, and this chap can shoot from here all the way across there, so I would stop here. I've seen birds coming in here for the past few days. Just down here in between these rod rests. Now I tend to use these extending rod rests because they're very easy to carry about and will extend to about 4 feet, which is just high enough for me when I'm sitting in a crouch position to hide behind and camouflage well. I expect the pigeons to come in from that direction generally, and coming over these telegraph poles and then seeing the decoys and heading in, because it's very important that your camouflage matches what you're hiding within. First thing is that if I was to stand, put my head above, looking like this hat would show out a mile. So what I'm going to do is camouflage the hat and my face. I don't need to camouflage this part because that's going to be below the level of my hide anyway. Now of course, without having a mirror, it's very difficult to tell whether you've got it right or not. I don't mind a lighter coloured face amongst the corn. I shan't need face netting or anything like that today. So now I'll go actually inside the hide and you can see how it looks. There we are. That's all I need to see a pigeon. If I see one, all I have to do is reach over the top and I've got him. If you look at it now, inside, gun, fishing reel which goes to the flapper, it's out there. Notice I've extended the flapper by putting it onto another rod rest and taping it down to get it above the level of the corn, otherwise it would be a bit lost. And in amongst the rest of the laid barley are the decoys all around. And there we have the little seat I use and my binoculars, spare bag of cartridges. If we look at the view from the front, there's a pigeon going over. Right. This is all I shall see, looking out over the top, high into the sky. Quite a good angle of fire, right round myself. Not a pigeon in sight at the moment. Let's see what happens now. Let's give that little flapper a tweak and you'll see how it works. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit down. 1, 2, 3, that's all it needs, and a drop of the wings. That little bit of movement is quite enough. There he comes, in, through, just over here somewhere. That's the problem with having a dog, is finding them when they drop. See, without a dog they're very hard to find. I'd have fallen amongst the corn, it would have been quite difficult. As it is, it's quite difficult. There he is, a nice wood pigeon. Can't set him amongst the decoys.
Here's an example of setting up a hide with camouflage netting and then covering that camouflage netting in the surrounding foliage. It's the edge of a pea field, a corner of a pea field, and you see that the hide almost totally disappears once I've done this. Not always necessary, but if the pigeons are getting a little bit finickety and have been shot a bit and you've got to be even more careful, then this might be an idea. It doesn't take a lot longer to do, and I've had all sorts of animals come up to me, even deer, not knowing I'm there.
The flick of a little lever on her collar, set her loose immediately to go and catch a bird. We just went for a little walk. She put a couple out of the hedge for me and I got them. Go seek it, Sophie. Go fetch it. Well, there we are, all the gear packed away. Had a few birds. Just made the morning worthwhile, didn't it, dog, eh? Good girl. Yes, good dog. And there we are. 5 pigeons. One in the hedge somewhere lost. Pigeon stretched out on a wire rod and it bounces in the wind. And this pigeon is facing up the line of the right hand side of the V so that the birds are led in, funneled in to the killing area.
Roost shooting, or some people call it roof shooting, pigeons as they come into woodland at dusk, is one of my favourite sports. And here's some footage from the past showing me shooting with the camera in my left hand and the gun only held in my right hand. Some interesting shots.
Thought I put the gun down by them to show the scale of things and the colour of things. That was a nice high bird. Good girl, come on. Nice shot. Here we are early morning. Got Patrick out on the decoys with me. Let's go out this rape field. See if we can get anything. So it's Holly's first time out with the decoys. She's tied up today, but if we get a live, an injured bird, we'll try her out.